Hello and welcome back to the Wrestling Group. Today we are going to be doing another looking back. This is the segment that we do where we look back at previous things that have happened in wrestling, whether they be good things, bad things, indifference. We've looked at the League of Nations, we've looked at Dustin Rhodes in TNA. There's other things that we've looked back on. So today it's going to be looking back at the phenomenal, the untouchable AJ Styles and his time within New Japan. So AJ has been everywhere. He's been in TNA, he's been in Ring of Honor, he's been in New Japan, he's been in WWE, and he's always been a big deal. He's always been a big star. He's fantastic in the ring. He's improved on the microphone. He's never been great, but he's improved a lot over the years, and he's always someone that fans are obviously still interested in seeing. What is he now, 46, 47, and fans still want to see AJ Styles and still want to see AJ at the top. But if you go all the way back, say all the way back, because it is like 2024 now, and he signed for New Japan in 2014, so that's 10 years. It doesn't never seem like that long, but we're only 2 years away from him being in WWE for 10, which it sounds absolutely nuts. It doesn't seem like it was 8 years ago that he debuted at the Royal Rumble for WWE, but that is in fact what it is. So that means it's 8 years as well since I met AJ Styles, which is nuts because I met him just before he debuted for the WWE. So we're looking back at his time in New Japan. He'd left TNA, he'd been a world champion there. He'd done some bits on the Indies, done a little stint in Ring of Honor, and then on March 27th, 2014, it was announced that AJ Styles had signed a 2-year contract with New Japan. So he did manage to accomplish quite a lot, faced some of the biggest names in Japan at the time, and had some stellar matches as well. And he was only there for just 2 years. At Invasion Attack on April the 6th, Styles attacked the IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada, laying him out with a Styles clash and challenging Okada to a match for the title, and he also revealed himself to be the newest member of the Bullet Club. At Wrestling Doku on May 3rd, in Styles' first match and under his New Japan contract. Don't forget, he'd done some work in Japan for New Japan when TNA and New Japan done the crossovers, but this was his first match officially under the New Japan contract that he'd signed. Styles defeated Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship with some help from Yuji Takahashi, becoming only the 6th Gaijin at the time to hold that title in the company's history, and being the first since the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar in 2005. So it'd been 9 years since a Gaijin, a non-Japanese wrestler, had held the title, and like I say, the previous one for that was Brock Lesnar. So that is already making history, making waves as soon as he turns up. His first official match, and he's won the championship. He's become only the 6th in the history to win it, and he is the first to have won it non-Gaijin, if you like, non-Japanese, since 2005. At the Ring of Honor New Japan joint pay-per-view War of the Worlds on May 17th, Styles made his first successful title defense in a 3-way versus, again, Kazuchika Okada and Michael Elgin. Styles then successfully defended the title against Okada in a singles match at the Back to the Yokohama Arena event. So he managed to successfully defend it against Okada twice, once in a 3-way, once in a singles match. But on July 21st, Styles suffered his first loss in New Japan during the G1 climax against Kazuchika Okada. So if you go back, his matches with Okada, there's loads of matches against Kazuchika Okada in the 2 years that he was there. You know, obviously Okada being the top guy, and AJ obviously being pushed as a top guy straight away, you know, as a main eventer. But there's some fantastic matches between the two. A really enjoyable rivalry, and it is surprising when you think the amount of times they did face that it was only 2 years. The Styles record in the G1 ended with 8 victories, 2 losses, but it wasn't enough for him to advance out of the block. His only other defeat in the G1 was to Naito. Okada went on to win his second G1 that year, defeating Nakamura in the final. On October 13th at King of Pro Wrestling, Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated AJ Styles for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in his third defence. So again, AJ's out there making records, but this one is one that he probably wasn't too fond on, making AJ the shortest reigning IWGP in its history at that time. During the match, Bullet Club's newest member, I always forget about this, so this is fun, see how many of you remember this. Who was the newest member? It was only Double J, Jeff Jarrett. He tried to interfere in the match, but returning Yoshitatsa. Oh mate, I'm terrible with Japanese names. Prevented him. Who remembers Jeff Jarrett in the Bullet Club? I always forget Jeff Jarrett was a member of Bullet Club. Many reasons, he wasn't there that long, and to be honest with you, he's probably been in there enough every faction ever made from a certain time period. But yes, Double J himself was a member of Bullet Club. On November the 8th at Power Struggle, Styles defeated Yoshitatsa. That's what I'm going with. Yoshitatsa. I can't for the life of me pronounce Japanese names, so don't get at me. During the match, Yoshitatsu. This is shocking, isn't it? I'm just going to call him Yoshi. He tucked his head in during the Styles clash and actually broke his neck. After the match, Tetsuya Naito confronted AJ Styles, setting up the two of them to face at Wrestle Kingdom. So after the neck break, like I say, he tucked his head too far in on the Styles clash and ended up breaking his neck. New Japan booked Styles to be a killer, and even said that Styles clash was now a controversial move in New Japan, as obviously it injures wrestlers. AJ Styles and Yujiro Takahashi, the small one from Bullet Club, entered the tag league and even scored a victory against reigning IWGP Tag Team Champions, fellow Bullet Club members Gallows and Anderson, but they failed to advance from the block. So that seems to be a recurring thing here for Styles. When he enters in these tournaments, he does well, but then just can't make it out the block. In January 4th, 2015, AJ Styles defeated Tetsuya Naito at Wrestle Kingdom 9. In a great match, Styles tries to win the match straight away, going for the Styles clash early. He then goes to work on Naito's leg, who sells it brilliantly, by the way. And Naito then going for the Frankensteiner and is reversed into a Styles clash at the end. Was just brilliant. On February the 11th, AJ Styles defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi to become two-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion at New Beginning. And on the 5th of April, Styles defeated New Japan Cup winner Kota Ibushi to retain the title at Invasion Attack. It's funny because I've gone back and I've watched some of the matches, and some of these matches are brilliant. And like I say, it's only a 2-year run, so it doesn't take that long to watch most of his matches in New Japan. Full of great quality and that. But it was just saying, I've always said Kota Ibushi doesn't really age, but looking at him now and then going back and looking at him back in 2015, there is a massive difference. He does look a hell of a lot younger. On July 5th, Kazuchika Okada defeated AJ Styles again for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship this time, which ended Styles' 5-month reign at Dominion. Styles then entered his second G1, but again didn't advance from the block and ended this year's with a 6 wins and 3 losses record. On October 12th, Styles received a rematch for the IWGP Heavyweight title against Kazuchika Okada, but was once again defeated by the Rainmaker at King of Pro Wrestling. Styles and Yujiro Takahashi once again entered into the tag league, but this time, unfortunately, it was cut short and Styles was pulled from the tournament as he was suffering from back issues. So, AJ Styles then returned to New Japan action on January the 4th, 2016, to face Shinsuke Nakamura for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, one of my favourite titles in New Japan history, and one of the main reasons why is from Nakamura's run at Wrestle Kingdom 10. This is one of them matches that a lot of people have talked about over the years. Obviously, if you haven't seen it yet, I don't understand why you haven't. If you're an AJ Styles fan, if you're a Nakamura fan, if you're just a fan of wrestling and you haven't yet seen it, go and check it out. WE obviously thought that highly of it. They tried to recreate it at WrestleMania between the two, but it never lived up to the original proper match at Wrestle Kingdom. This ended up being both of their last matches at Wrestle Kingdom, before both, funny enough, signing with the WWE, and it was a great match. Nakamura picking up the win and retaining his title. So AJ Styles obviously was in New Japan for 2 years, and his championships were 2-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion. So if you're going to only win one title and win it twice, then you might as well do the big one, mightn't you? The next night, Kenny Omega attacked Styles, kicking him out of the Bullet Club and ending AJ Styles' 2-year stint with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So a lot happened in a short space of time. A lot of people do consider his New Japan run as being his best run that he had. There wasn't really any downs, was there, apart from obviously, like I say, being pulled from the second tag league due to back problems, but I very much highly doubt they'd have gone on to win it anyway. And maybe him not winning at Wrestle Kingdom, but it made no sense for him to win as he was on his way out the door anyway. But like I say, so many phenomenal matches he's had. How many matches against Okada, how many matches against Tanahashi. He's faced Naito at Wrestle Kingdom, he's faced Nakamura at Wrestle Kingdom, he's faced Kota Ibushi. Some of his G1 matches are brilliant as well. Make sure, if you haven't seen any of his G1 matches, go and give them a look. Any and all of these matches that I have mentioned are all available on New Japan World as well. So all you have to do is subscribe to that and you have full viewing of AJ Styles and what, like I say, some people do deem to be his best years in wrestling. He was at the, I'd say prime, but I don't think AJ's really ever had a prime in his career because he stayed at a top level for a long time. It's funny because people always talk about your favourites and they talk about what they call the GOATs in wrestling, the greatest of all time. And I always say, my all-time favourite wrestler ever is Stone Cold Steve Austin. But I always say the greatest ever wrestler to do it is AJ Styles. So people are like, well, how can you say your favourite's one and the greatest of all time is someone completely different? Well, the simple fact is, AJ Styles has pretty much everything. In-ring ability is just unreal. The fact he can just go and go and go. He was fantastic in TNA. His stints that he had in Ring of Honor were always really good matches. He was the pure champion there as well. And then his run in New Japan is brilliant. It put a lot of people onto New Japan. Loads of people hadn't watched New Japan before, but if you're TNA fans, you probably watch bits anyway because they've done the crossover shows. But a lot of people then were starting to check out this New Japan because of an athlete like AJ Styles who was going there. You know, like a lot of people talk about when Chris Jericho went to New Japan, and obviously the world of social media plays a bigger part in it now than what it did back in 2014. But even just getting the PWI mags and stuff like that, you know, when they've done the top, how many is it, like top 100 wrestlers or 250 wrestlers or whatever it is to do a year. Seeing AJ Styles, like, I remember, I think this might have been around the time that I found New Japan, if I can remember, because do remember after he'd left TNA, I didn't know what AJ was doing. And I remember getting a wrestling magazine. I can't remember if it was Power Slam or whether it was the PWI. I think it might have actually been the year he was voted the best wrestler of the year, and I'm sure it was during a stint in New Japan. Anyway, he was in a magazine, and I read that he was wrestling for, obviously, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he was putting on these great matches, and I was like, what the hell is that, and how do I find it? So I remember AJ was actually the person that got me on to New Japan, because obviously I was a massive fan of his in TNA, but I found it out in this magazine what he was up to, and obviously going on the internet then and being able to find some bits and bobs. So like back before, like TV, Chris Jericho was going over there, you know, that was a massive buzz through social media. We didn't have social media back then, or it wasn't a massive thing back then anyway. You might have had your little forum boards, but I was never really a fan of them anyway. So, you know, AJ did turn heads to New Japan, and obviously a lot of people do know who AJ was before WWE, and improved that by his debut. Like, you don't get a pop like that if people don't know who you are, do they? So, but there you have it. That is AJ Styles' time in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So let me know in the comment section, did you enjoy AJ Styles in New Japan Pro Wrestling? Do you think AJ's best run of his career was in New Japan? Let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to know. Also, let me know what was your favourite match from AJ in New Japan. And as always, don't forget to give us a like, comment, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll tell you what, if you want to, let me know in the suggestion box, in the comments, a suggestion of what else you would like me to do a looking back video on. You know, like I say, there is, if you go in, you'll be able to see my playlists, and there is a couple that we've done already. They've had some good feedback, some good views as well, so I am looking forward to push on with the looking back as a more regular scheduled series, if you like. So, like I say, let me know if there's anything else you want me to do a looking back on. And don't forget, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more wrestling related content coming your way very, very soon.